So everything we've done here, I've uploaded to Build a Module so we can compare the performance on this version with the original version where we had individual files and our JavaScript up in the header, no concatenation, no minification. So here is our original. I'm going to close out the emulator here and we'll look at this side by side. So here's our original. I'll refresh just so we get a clear picture of what's going on over here. So again, we had 18 requests, so 18 different calls to the server for files, and a total of 618 kilobytes. Now I'm going to open up the other version, which is at fed.buildamodule.com/optimized, and we'll open up the dev tools for this. I'll pop over to the network tab and refresh the page, and I'll move this side by side so we can look at the optimized version versus the original version. Now we can see at the bottom that our optimized version has 8 requests, which is 10 less than our original. Also, we're downloading about half the stuff, so 309 kilobytes versus 618 kilobytes. Now, what's a little bit strange is that this optimized version is actually taking a little bit longer on my computer than the original version. Now, my best guess for what's going on there is that since we put everything in this JavaScript file into a single file, it takes a while to download it and run the code that's in there. With our original, the browser was able to start downloading other JavaScript files at the same time that it was downloading the biggest JavaScript file, the jQuery.js file. So for this particular use case, even though we've worked really hard to optimize our site, at this stage on a fast computer, our optimized version is going to take a little bit longer. But let's emulate what happens when we slow things down. So I'm going to turn on the emulator on both of these, and I'm going to go back to our page in the browser, and I'm going to set these to 1 megabits per second with a 40 millisecond round trip time. And I'll set it for the original, and I'll set this also for the optimized version. And now I'll refresh, and the optimized version takes about 2 seconds to load. If we refresh the original version, it's getting close to 4 seconds. So almost double the time. So once the internet speeds start dropping down a bit, our optimizations become significant when it comes to performance. Also, if we reload these to experience the difference between putting our JavaScript in the header and putting it in the footer, we'll refresh the original. And when we do, you can tell at some point we see a difference. And at that flash is where we're actually seeing the new site. So if we did something like navigate from Google and we went back to our original site, you'd see white until nearly everything had been processed. But if we go to our optimized version and we go to Google first, and then we go to our site, immediately we start seeing something we can work with. We get a flash before the JavaScript executes, so we see a funky select box here, but most of the time that's not going to be mission critical. So at this point, we've done pretty much everything we can do in order to optimize the speed of our site. Now again, performance can also come into play when we look at what's happening with JavaScript as the user interacts with the site. But this is something that comes up later as you add more functionality and start to evaluate how users are interacting with the site.